Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, the, 18th day of June 2026. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thanks for tuning in to KSJE. 90.9 FM right here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening to my voice anywhere else on planet Earth, that means you're probably listening from our website, ksje.com. Maybe you've got our KSJE radio app to listen with, or perhaps you've asked your smart speaker to play KSJE. It's great to have you all with us, of course, this morning. Also, welcome to the folks who are watching me right now, because the video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us this morning, because coming up in the next few moments, a really important conversation about fire danger, wildfire danger here in San Juan County as we get into the fireworks season and much, much more. Hot, windy, dry weather continuing to make it an issue with fires. So stay tuned for that conversation with my guest from San Juan County Fire and Rescue coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Next hour, of course, Mick Hess will be here roving with the arts. That's our weekday classical music program coming up at 9:06. Don't forget, a reminder, you can go to our Facebook and YouTube channel to check out KSJE on the road. We were out at Greece at one of their final rehearsals before the performances opened last week. It's running, of course, all summer out at Lions Wilderness Park Amphitheater, so you can check it out, get a little behind-the-scenes look at the production this summer. Don't forget, you can also connect with us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast listener, you can subscribe to KSJE Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. We publish a new one almost every day, so check it out and maybe discover a new program that you may have missed. Better yet, you can also find our podcast, our live stream, and much, much more, all part of the KSJE Radio app. It's available at the App Store and on Google Play, so download it, take us with you on your travels this summer all across the region. Outside our studios at San Juan College this morning, it's 73 degrees under sunny skies. We are expecting a sunny and hot day today. You know it's hot when they put a cactus on the weather forecast map there. 94 for high in Farmington today, 65 overnight. It'll be sunny tomorrow, the high 91. Sunshine 88 on Saturday, 88 again on Sunday, back into the 90s next week, and overnight lows in the 60s. Back with my guests from San Juan County Fire and Rescue right after this on KSJE. In a medical emergency, stroke, heart attack, trauma, every minute matters. The decisions made in those first moments can change everything. San Juan Regional Medical Center offers advanced, comprehensive, definitive care. Available 24 hours a day for everyone in our community. When minutes matter, San Juan Regional Medical Center is here. Find out more at sanjuanregional.com. Farmington is turning 40 years of Freedom Days into a week you don't want to miss. From July 1st to the 5th, the city comes alive with 5 days of hometown celebration, tradition, and summer fun for the whole family. Kick things off with a Citizens Bank flag dedication, browse treasures at the Gem and Mineral Show, and stick around for crowd favorites like Party in the Park, the Ice Cream Social at E3, the Electric Light Parade, and the Fireworks Spectacular lighting up the night sky. It's a full week of community pride, sweet traditions, and jolt-worthy moments, all in Farmington. Visit farmingtonnm.org.
Now back to Studio A and the award-winning Scott Michlin Morning Program on KSJE.
And back in the studio this morning with my guest, as I mentioned, from San Juan County Fire and Rescue. Chief David Vega is here this morning. Chief, welcome back to KSJE.
Scott, thanks for having us again.
You bet. Good to have you here. Also with us this morning, of course, Deputy Chief John Gilbert here as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome back. Good to have you both here because it's a busy time for you and your crews and your colleagues. We've got hot, dry weather as we've been talking about here, and already have seen some pretty damaging fires, wildfires in the area. And so I wanted to get your perspective as to what the summer's going to look like and what the current conditions are. They're not good out there, right?
No, you kind of said the three magic words that that cause us a great deal of concern, and that's it is hot, dry, and windy. It's actually kind of been a slow start to the fire season.
Right.
We had just enough moisture in the spring to kind of things settle down, but certainly the past 3 or 4 weeks, the hot, dry, windy weather has really dried out the conditions, and things are starting to spool up quick. Of course, it was a busy week for us. We had a large,
just this week,
just this week, large fire up La Plata Highway that
right.
I'm sure everyone saw, or if you may have seen the smoke, and certainly the pictures on our social media page. Very extensive outside fire that did extend into the vegetation. That really extensive mop-up operations. Then we had a new start up the Pine River of Highway 511. That was a lightning holdover. So, yeah,
right.
busy week, Scott, and don't see any signs of it slowing down.
Yeah, and with these conditions, I guess I just want to ask you a bit more about these fires and fires like these. They spread really fast. I mean, isn't that part of the danger, right? If a fire does start, whether it's human-caused or lightning-caused or whatever, it may, if smolders and once it starts, with the winds and the dry conditions, it could spread pretty quickly.
Yeah, things are set up, right?
Yeah.
The vegetation, is starting to dry out. So, we say that the fuel's receptive to carry fire right now. So again, the hot, dry, windy weather really propagates fire spread quickly. So the conditions are ripe to actually, just accelerate fire. And yeah, it's we just don't see anything slowing down the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Sure.
So I guess for advice for folks, just to be extra careful when you're outside. Because one of these was human caused. You were telling me, because that's your understanding, right?
Yeah. The La Plata fire was hot work, and so anything regarding grinding, welding would certainly fall under hot work.
Okay.
So
you're making sparks, or sparks are happening.
Some common sense stuff. If you're doing hot work, have a way to put out a fire if it develops. All those sparks, that molten metal, if it makes contact with dry vegetation right now, it's going to start a fire.
Right.
So just some really common sense stuff. Try to do hot work in an area that doesn't have any vegetation. And if you are doing hot work, make sure you have a fire, at least a 5-pound fire extinguisher and or a bucket of water, so you can, keep that fire small before it spreads. It's not going to take much to get a fire going right now.
Yeah, and is it good to maybe just take a look around the area, even if you're working on pavement or concrete or something, and look around the edges when you're done to see if anything maybe blew into the vegetation surrounding that pad or wherever you are? I'm just talking off the top of my head.
Absolutely.
To see if anything's smoldering or smoking. This is what I'm trying to say.
If you're doing some hot work, look at your surroundings and recognize where those sparks are going.
Yeah.
Take some time to prep the area. Remove that vegetation. Ideally, you don't want to be doing any hot work in an area that's covered in vegetation. So get a rake out, a shovel out, scrape that area down to mineral soil. That's going to buy you a lot right there. A little bit of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right?
Yeah.
So take some time to prep that area, make it safe. And I just want to, again, hammer the point. If you're doing any kind of hot work, make sure that you've got a way to put that fire out. Have a fire extinguisher, have a bucket of water, and you can keep that fire small before it develops into a big fire.
Yeah, very true. The other one you were talking about, the one out on 511, that was more of maybe a lightning-caused fire that maybe smoldered for a few hours or days before it really ignited?
Yeah, a couple of days prior, we had some thunderstorms over the northern mountains there. I suspect that it was a lightning strike that was smoldering for a day or two. Had the right combination again of dry, hot, windy weather, and then we were off to the races with that fire. And Chief Gilbert may have a better update on that than I do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, our friends over at the BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, which is actually their fire program, the United States Wildland Fire Service is managing that fire. But yeah, we've got some crews out there in support of that over the last couple of days. Last report has been 55 acres up in the Burnt Mesa area. The county road's 4,000.
Okay.
So of course that's on the east side of the Pine River.
Right.
So a little bit landlocked for us to get there. So we've got some folks helping from Colorado as well, and yeah, that area is no stranger to wildland fire. Certainly in the lightning strikes, they had a couple more a few days prior, but we're able to keep them to a small 1/10 of an acre or so. But so this one was a little bit exciting, which is kind of almost typical for us. We get a couple exciting ones. We get some smoke in the air, and then everyone is reminded to kind of be safe. But until that happens, unfortunately, we do experience an uptick in fires.
Sure.
People are reminded, certainly.
Right. Now, this area is not quite as populated either. Is that true?
It's certainly less
sparse.
Yeah, it's much more sparse. There's a lot more open space, state land intermixed with the BLM management.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when we look at these pictures, just real quick, and then I'll move on. I promise I will move on to something else. But I just wanted to point out that, we could see kind of the whiter smoke here and the really darker smoke on the La Plata fire, and that would indicate kind of what's burning. And this is maybe more wooded things and vegetation, and the other ones maybe more structures possibly. Is that kind of what I'm interpreting this?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's certainly a large indicator. And the wildland fires, even at the Middle Mesa area, the Pine River fire, will have some black in it, especially when it's developing. And a lot of that's just the oils from the vegetation.
Okay.
So certainly the La Plata fire, that's a very good indicator from, as we're en route to that. We're using the color of the smoke just to identify what could be burning. So yeah, absolutely, you're correct.
Until you get there, for sure. And so again, just for folks to be aware, but obviously be aware of what you're doing. The state, I think both states, Colorado and New Mexico, if not all the others, have imposed fire restrictions and some bans in some areas. So that's not a surprise, or it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody with the conditions the way they are.
Yeah, the state, New Mexico State Forestry implemented fire open burning restrictions, I believe, all the way back in April, if I remember correctly. So there is a statewide prohibition on any kind of open burning,
Right.
Recreational fires included. There is not a provision in there, just to circle back to the hot work side. There's not a prohibition on hot work.
Okay.
So again, I just want to hammer and emphasize to all the listeners and viewers that if you are doing hot work, there's not a prohibition, but please make sure that you have a way to start a fire or put that fire out if it starts. Under the statewide restrictions, Scott, it does cover fireworks, and I'm sure we're going to probably get into that.
Right.
Fireworks do go on sale starting Saturday
This week.
in San Juan County this
Okay.
week. So we get a lot of questions, certainly from the fire department side. Fireworks are a funny thing. There's passionate arguments on both sides. Obviously, from the fire department standpoint, we recognize it's 250 years that we're celebrating this year. We want people to celebrate. We want people to enjoy fireworks. But we want to do that. We want people to do that safely. And obviously, we don't want an accidental fire started by fireworks. So part of the prohibition in the fireworks ban is where you can discharge those fireworks. We cannot ban the sale of fireworks. It's not within our scope. We don't have the authority to do so.
You can't do it as a fire and rescue
cannot
department.
do it
The
as a
county
department.
commission can't
The
do
county
it.
commission
It's a
cannot
state
do it.
level legislation.
Absolutely. At most, the statute does allow us to restrict what types of fireworks can be sold in certain areas, but there's very specific criteria that has to be met. So fireworks are going to be sold. The prohibition is you cannot discharge those fireworks in an area that are partially or wholly covered in vegetation. So if you are going to be enjoying fireworks with your family, again, make sure that you're discharging those off in areas that are barren of any vegetation. And again, I always go back to apply some common sense. Have a way to put out a fire: garden hose, bucket of water, fire extinguisher. Those do emit sparks, right? And if those sparks are falling on vegetation, it's going to create a fire. So have a way to put that fire out. Don't hesitate to call 911 immediately, recognizing that fire is going to probably spread quickly. But if you're doing some really common sense stuff, we want you to celebrate safely. We want you to have a good time.
Very true, very true. So the sales will start on Saturday, as you said, and they'll be sold through the holiday. And wrap up a little bit afterwards,
July
I think.
6th.
Is it 6th, the date? Okay, got it. And so again, one place you cannot use fireworks again this year is out at McGee Park. That was closed and remains closed for fireworks use this year again. So just so everyone knows that. And you guys will be out patrolling, I suppose, and having some interesting conversations with the residents, I guess, and just let them know what the rules are and things in that nature.
Yeah, we'll have our fireworks patrols out, and again, that's again, we're not out there to be the no fun police. We're not out there to harass people or prevent people from having a good time. Our mission is to make sure that people are celebrating safely. We don't want fires starting from fireworks. So when we are making contact with you, or if you have a fire department truck that makes contact with you, we're assessing where you're going to be discharging the fireworks. We're going to assess to make sure that you're not being careless in the way you're discharging. We usually get anywhere from a half dozen to a dozen injuries every fireworks season, Scott. Last year we had a very severe traumatic injury to a hand, a fireworks discharged in a gentleman's hand. So those are pretty typical calls for us. So that's what we're, when we're out there patrolling and we're making contact with you, again, it's not to harass you, not to give you a hard time. We just want to make sure that, you're doing so in a safe manner.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Makes perfect sense. And of course, again, I know you don't work for the city, but there are different rules and what you can buy fireworks wise in the city limits and also in the county. And so it's important for folks, I think, to understand where they are, where they live, where they're going to be setting these things off. And if they're in the county, that's one thing. If they're in the city, that's another thing. And if you bought fireworks maybe in the county that you're setting off in the city, you may have an issue with folks from the city and things like that.
Yeah, great point. The cities, Farmington, Aztec, Bloomfield, Kirtland, have by proclamation adopted an ordinance that does not allow the use or discharge of aerial devices, so mortars,
right.
Basically. So those are prohibited to be discharged in the city. And I know Farmington Fire Department will have their patrols out, and again, it's not to harass or be the no fun police, but we are obligated to enforce the restrictions that exist. And again, our primary concern is, just the safety of the citizens, and we don't want any mortars landing on roofs, anybody hurt from those things. So yeah, recognize where you're shooting fireworks at, know what's allowed in the municipalities, because the fire department will be out enforcing those.
Right. Very good. Well, good advice. I appreciate you sharing that as well. And that probably should go without saying. It's probably not a good idea to ever mix fireworks with alcohol. I'm going to say it if you don't.
Indeed.
But I would think that, that
totally
would,
echo your comments 100%.
Because then that could get you a visit from the sheriff's office too. Who knows, right?
That might get you a visit to the emergency room.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that going on. Other things that are going on with the department. Again, I think I asked you both about the training for your firefighters, and sometimes I know they go off on other fires if they're needed in other parts of the state or other parts of the West. You were telling me you're keeping most of your folks here just because of how bad or could be bad the conditions are.
Yeah, I'll let Chief Gilbert actually speak to that.
Chief.
Sure, yeah, we participate in the national framework, so we do have a group of wildland firefighters that do go out nationally, mostly to the western states. So currently we do have that program stood up, and we're actually fortunate to be able to utilize them locally. So our one engine crew that is working on behalf of the state forestry, New Mexico State Forestry, is actually helping out with the Pine River fire currently. So yeah, the program moves resources all around where the need is and where the developing need may be. So our neighbors in Colorado and throughout all the other states, Utah, Arizona, are certainly in the same boat we're in. So we've employed their help a number of times already this year, and that certainly continues as we go. So yeah, most of the stuff we keep this time of year kind of local, and then as fire season develops in the West, it kind of changes. So later in the year, I would anticipate the Northwest area or Northern California or the Northern Rockies getting a little bit busier when it's their time, and I'm sure we'll aid if we need to.
Sure. I was going to ask you about how conditions are in other parts of the country and the parts of the West. I mean, we're hot, dry, and windy at the moment here. Is that the same in other areas, or not as bad, or how do we shape up and compare to other places?
Yeah, sure. As the fire season progresses through the Western United States, it certainly changes and develops differently. And fingers crossed that our monsoons develop in the way they're predicted to, which seems like normal timing, but may be robust. So hopefully, knock on wood,
Right.
that does develop, and that'll kind of take us out of our peak fire season, and then that just kind of marches north as into northern Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, the Pacific Northwest. So that is the normal series of it. It seems this time of year, June, July, everybody kind of is in some form of fire season. And as Chief Vega mentioned earlier, it was kind of a slow rollout, luckily. So I applaud everybody in the Western United States, right, of keeping those human starts a little bit lower than normal. Certainly, we're going to get tested with some lightning here soon,
right,
as we've experienced as last weekend. So, that may just march on. The Rocky Mountains, are northern Rockies specifically, are a little bit in better shape than we are. But it'll be their time soon if the summer moisture doesn't materialize.
Right, sure. Well, and I know you guys are watching, I think as everybody, the snowpack numbers and some of the other river levels and things like that. We did get some precipitation in the spring that maybe kind of lengthened the season just a little bit, but we still have these dry, windy conditions right now that we're experiencing, so we can understand that. I know there's always a talk and a conversation about recruitment and things like that. Is that still something that you guys could use some extra members as part of the Fire and Rescue Department at the county?
Absolutely. We're always looking for motivated individuals that want to come and do some pretty awesome high-speed stuff. For the listeners and the viewers, San Juan County Fire Rescue is a combination fire department, meaning that we have full-time, 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, 365 full-time firefighters in some of our busier fire stations. But in the more remote areas of our county, we rely on what we call reserve or volunteer firefighters. Volunteer fireism or volunteer firefighters are unfortunately it's somewhat of a dying breed, and I don't know that there's any fire department across the United States right now that's not low on their volunteer firefighter numbers. So we offer a program where we come in, we put you through an assessment process, we interview you, we put you through a physical fitness process to make sure that you're up for performing arduous duty. But if you pass all that, we put you through all the training. None of that comes out of your pocket. You come out with all your firefighter certifications, wildland fire certifications, your EMS certifications. A lot of people don't know that as a fire department, most of our calls are 80% of them are medical emergencies.
Right, sure.
So all of our firefighters are EMTs, emergency medical technicians. And we're also giving you a career track. And none of that's coming out of your pocket. We give our volunteers what's called a nominal fee to help cover things like gas, wear and tear on your vehicle, things like that. So you can actually make a little bit of money being a volunteer as well. So our recruitment window will open up in August, so that'll be coming out soon. And we encourage you to stop by, ask questions, stop by our firehouses. If you've ever wondered what a fireman does or a firefighter does, please reach out. We're happy to answer questions. Come and do a ride along so you can kind of see what a day in the life of a firefighter is. And we're hoping for a big recruit class this year to be putting through.
Very good. And it seems to me like no matter where you may live or work in San Juan County, you could be helpful at Fire and Rescue because you've got stations all around the county. So if I worked on the east side, you could maybe help out there if there's a call, or on the west side or what have you. It seems like there's a spot for a dedicated person if they wanted to get involved.
Absolutely. We have 27 firehouses that cover 5,000 square miles that we're responsible for. So even if your home station or the station that you're assigned to is on the west side of the county, and we have an emergency on the east side of the county because that's where you're working for the day, we recognize that you're going to be able to be there quick and provide maybe some mitigation to that emergency. So there's a great deal of flexibility that exists. And again, if you're willing to put in the effort, we're willing to give you the time, the training, and the tools to get there.
Very good. That's a big investment, I think, too. And so kudos to San Juan County, the county commission, for supporting that training program, to get these folks in, to give them the equipment, the training, the things that they need to get started and provide that protection throughout those 5,000 square miles.
Absolutely.
That's a really important thing to point out, I think, as well. And so as the summer goes on, I mean, what else keeps you guys busy? I know you'll be in the usual parades. At least I hope you'll be, right? If you can get away.
Yeah, the parades,
the parades are coming.
The public displays, fireworks displays are still a go in Farmington and Bloomfield.
That's right, the 3rd and the 5th.
We'll have folks out assisting with that. Of course, our fireworks patrols. And then just really, Scott, just everyday business. We run about 9,000 calls a year. So there's not ever a slow day. This time of year, the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're certainly on a somewhat heightened level of situational awareness, just because we recognize the potential. But things really never slow down for us. So we're always we always got our hands in something out there.
Of course, for sure, and that's important as well. And some of the water rescues and things like that. That's also something I know that you guys train in, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
WG?
absolutely. Yeah,
Right?
we certainly we're involved in swift water, still water, ice rescue. Although that's not happening lately.
Not the season for ice rescue, not yet.
Yeah, we do have a fireboat. We do employ our fireboat out on Navajo Reservoir pretty frequently. So they've been involved in some stuff out there. If it's a large weekend, we try to get some staffing out there, and they've proved handy so far this year. So
nice.
Certainly that's available to us if we need. And our partners, certainly Farmington Fire with Farmington Lake, they've had some action up there, and we're well prepared for just about everything that may happen here. So fortunately, and hopefully, knock on wood, you all do not have to be users of that system.
Right. Well, we hope so, but we're glad that you have it if needed, and that's the important thing in the training for the folks too. So if folks are wanting to get involved, there's that opportunity. So very good.
Can I just a real quick plug? Sure. We are going to be doing a somewhat big hiring early July for full-time firefighters. We're going to bring another fire station online as a full-time fire station. That station will be opened up in Flora Vista. They're going to be temporarily quartered in the Cedar Hill or Center Point area until we can get some quarters remodeled. But we do anticipate doing a hiring for firefighters hopefully mid to late July. So be looking for that. Again, if you're a firefighter out there, maybe listening from another state, that is interested in coming down and working for a busy department that's doing some really, really good things right now. Certainly hope you consider looking at us and putting your hat in the ring. We anticipate maybe hiring up to 7 firefighters in anticipation of opening up that new station. So please, if you're interested, reach out to us. And hopefully you'll be seeing those applications open in mid-July.
Okay, very good. And so these will be different than what you were talking about in August. Those are for folks who don't have any background, any training. What you're talking about in July would be folks maybe who are already doing firefighting work and EMT work in another place.
Yeah, these would be laterals, what we would call lateral hire, someone that's already coming in that has certifications already that we'd be looking at doing assessment for.
Very good. I guess I have to keep my day job, at least for that.
We'll bring you on, brother.
All right.
You say the word, we'll make it happen.
Okay, we'll see. Very good. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. I know it's been a busy season already for both of you and your crews, but we appreciate you guys being out there and coming in to share with us a little bit about the conditions and what's going on out there and what to watch out for as the summer continues. So,
thanks for having us.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Have a safe 4th of July, and we will see you in a parade or somewhere else soon.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
My guest this morning from San Juan County Fire and Rescue with me here on KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.